June 4th and the start of a busy month in Pittsburgh. We already talked about the Arts Festival downtown, the Food Truck and Fireworks Festival at Seven Springs, and Topgolf as well. But our next guest says that's not even scratching the surface of all there is to do. We want to welcome back Pittsburgh Magazine's Sean Collier with his picks for 5 essential June events not to be missed in his After Dark blog. First of all, I want to talk about this blog. How's it going?
Oh, it's been great. It's the mind-blowing thing to me is I think I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been doing it long enough that I don't know how long I've been doing it. And there's never a shortage of new stuff. You know, it's not just, oh, I'm going to write about this year's big events. There's always new things opening and new events that I'm discovering because people are always doing great things in Pittsburgh.
Well, I know we talked about this maybe a few months ago about your blog. And so what does it basically consist of?
Well, every month we do a post like this where I find 5 things that I'm thinking about going to or that interest me. That'll be at the beginning of each month. And then in between, it'll be a mix of new stuff that I've heard about and gone to try. One of the most recent ones was about a new escape room at Escape Room 51, which is one of my favorites. Or some experience I had that I feel I can rant about for the length of a blog post. That was, I went to a concert at Highmark Stadium a couple of weeks ago and wrote a post about that because I think that Highmark Stadium could turn into a really cool music venue, particularly with the city skyline there being so centrally located. This show, there were some kinks that they had to work out. So I kind of wrote about that experience because I think they're going to get there. And I know they're hosting some big concerts later in the summer. But in any case, that's the kind of thing. Either I went somewhere and something happened and let me tell you about it, or here's some cool stuff that's coming up. Okay,
so you narrowed the month of June down to 5. I don't know how you did it, but let's talk about your first one. What's on first? Or who's on first?
Well, that'd be fun. I don't know if I have a comedy one this month.
I don't think you do.
We talked about Dirty Dancing.
Right.
That was first. There's 2 things I've been meaning to do. Get to one of the cinema in the park showings. They sound fantastic. I've never been out to one as far as I can remember, but they're all over the city. And there's 2 parks. One I think is Flagstaff Hill in Shenley Park, and one is in Observatory Hill, where they will do some recent blockbusters. They're doing Black Panther and Wonder Woman and Spider-Man Homecoming. And they'll also do a couple of classics, including this week, Dirty Dancing. That's the other thing. I've never seen Dirty Dancing.
Never?
No. And so it seems like
Makes me suspicious about you.
There's a lot of gaps in my my movie-going knowledge, particularly in the 80s and 90s. I missed that one, and I don't think that would do so well if I just sat home and critically evaluated it one day. I think I need a cool event, and Cinema in the Park sounds about right.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something.
Okay.
Now, I don't know that we can do it anymore, but my husband and I used to be able to do the lift.
Oh, wow.
For like 1.5 seconds, but still.
Did you do that at your wedding? Is that what?
No, I don't know. It's just, you know, block party, street fair, whatever. We'll pull that trick out anytime we can. Okay, so you also include the Three Rivers Arts Festival, but one thing in particular.
I included the closing concert with the Mavericks for a couple of reasons. One, because I looked at the weather forecast and I was very suspicious about last weekend's concerts, which I heard was some trouble. It's such a they've had a lot of fun with it last year, especially they had the umbrella installation.
Right, it was beautiful, right?
But they get such bad luck with the weather there. It looks like this week is looking a little bit better. So I picked the Mavericks for that reason, and I think they're really a band that's going to make everybody happy. They exist at this weird intersection of rock and bluegrass. They have these Latin influences, and there's a little bit of country in there too. As we saw, especially on Saturday, there are plenty of country fans in Pittsburgh and the surrounding area. So I think that going to see the Mavericks, no matter what music you like, you're going to be happy with that show.
And you have another concert on your list, and this is Ben Folds returning to Heinz Field.
To Heinz Hall.
Oh, to Heinz Hall, sorry, yes.
Yeah, I seized on this one because a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine on Facebook posted a very specific memory about a Ben Folds show 15 years ago. And 6 other people I knew chimed in with their memories of that exact same incident. So 15 years ago, a bunch of people who wouldn't meet one another for 10 years were all there and all had the same memory. That's what happens at Ben Folds shows. It's not the same thing every night. He riffs, he makes things up, and it's always a really memorable experience.
Memories happen. And I love that you head south. You go out of Pittsburgh to the Meadows.
One of my best friends and I went a couple of weeks ago because they had dachshund races in between the horse races.
Yes, we had them on the show talking about it.
Oh, it was tremendous, especially because they would count well, the best part was it's a big horse track, right? It's 10 horses wide, so the dachshunds look like ants in the middle of it. They would count them down and say, go, and 5 of them would run in the wrong direction, and 2 of them would have no idea what was going on, and 1 would just zoom across. That was great. But being there for that made me notice how cool their night races are. It's only 4 or 5 times a year. One of them is at the end of this month. They'll do a bunch of harness races at night. And surprisingly, they're actually family-friendly events. They have face painting for the kids and food trucks, so you can get out and enjoy a really beautiful racetrack in a beautiful area without thinking, oh, it's at a casino, I have to leave the kids at home. It can be a family event.
Oh, that's fun to know. Also, you say you can take in some of the artwork around the city on a kayak. Tell me how you can do this.
Yeah, there's a tour that is a collaboration between Venture Outdoors and the Office of Public Art that looks at some of the public art downtown from the river. And I remember taking one of the Office of Public Art's self-guided walking tours many years ago. There's so many details either on buildings or just the way that something was designed architecturally or a long ago public art installation that just walking by you would never notice. This is a great way to do it, and what better way than to get a kayak trip in while you're at it.
So we're not talking about graffiti on the side of a bridge.
No, although that's part of folk art as well. No, this will cover everything from statues that might have been there for 50, 70, 100 years to, I'm sure, some of the brand new installations along the Riverwalk on the under the convention center. All
right, we mentioned this last time Pittsburgh Magazine was here. Best restaurants, and the party is coming up.
It's a week away. I don't know when I'll start training. It's the exact opposite of preparing for a marathon. You have to get your stomach ready to take in as much food as possible. As we'll have more than 40 restaurants there, and they're all giving samples. And the surprise to me when I first started going, I thought a sample meant, you know, a bite.
Like a bite.
A sample is a small plate. It's like getting 30 appetizers in a row from the best restaurants in town. Yeah.
And we love talking about how the list was narrowed down, and so this really could be a fun event.
Yeah, and they really go all out. It's not what can we throw together. It's every one of the best restaurants around really trying to show off on that night.
And speaking of best of, the big party is coming up in July.
The Best of the Berg party is coming up as well. It's Stage AE. Tickets on sale now. My colleague Lauren Davidson will be here later in the month to talk about the list, but we have 50 great editors pick winners as well as all of the readers pick winners coming out too. So a lot to choose from, and a lot of them are going to be represented at Stage E.
Great. All right. Well, thanks. We always love chatting with you, Sean. And don't miss out on these events and more by following Sean's blog, After Dark, on the Pittsburgh Magazine website. You'll find the link at kdka.com/PTL. We make it easy for you, as well as a link to tickets to the Best Restaurants Party.